talk about my Apple Pro XDR. Hello.
Make sure it's actually working.
Is anybody here? Oh shoot, I'm tripped up. Oh. Make sure my head isn't chopped off. Get on the stream. Are we live? Hello? Hello. Should I be like the old man the other day? There we go, live now. Live now. All right, let me turn the audio off here. Sorry, people, I didn't announce I was going to be live. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about, but we all know that I can sit here and yap for a while when I'm talking about something cool. So get some questions in here. I'll give you a little bit of a life update, and then I'll go back to the beginning and go answer your questions. Super chats always make me look at them first. So if you want to give me some more money, that'd be helpful to capture my attention. Anyway, we're at the garage, and in the new side, notice the print behind me looks pretty sweet. But yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I haven't done a live stream on our normal Friday schedule because Chris isn't here. Chris is working from home, and so I figured, what's the point of having him work from home if I have him come and do the live stream, and then we sit next to each other? It's kind of pointless. The idea is to separate and make sure that we're available to continue the business operating in case someone did get sick of any sort of magnitude. So anyway, I just did, which will be up on YouTube probably tomorrow, maybe tonight or tomorrow, but I interviewed a guy that I follow who I was really interested in. His name is Nick Bear. He started a supplement company. He was an ex-Army guy and started a supplement company called VPN. And one of his employees is a follower, and he connected me with Nick and got him on the podcast. Was able to spend some time talking about business and ask him a bunch of questions. There's a lot of parallels in how he's, first of all, where he's from. He's from Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, like I am, and I'm from just up the 81 interstate 81 from where he grew up, and so we got to spend some time just sort of chatting. He told this story, and he doesn't know me from anybody, so I don't know. I'm not sure he knew what to expect. So that should be up soon. We've been on Inside the Hex. That should, if it's not up already, Bryce will have that up here shortly. Yesterday we started to go over to the storage units. I thought I had 6 of them. I do have 6 of them. 2 of them have the guy that owns the building. In order to get in here early, I told him I'd set up a storage unit and I'd pay for it, just so that he could keep his stuff there until his new garage is built. But we had 4 storage units stacked darn near floor to ceiling. And it was a real eye-opener. I haven't been over there since we booked the first unit. My dad and Ted take everything over to the storage unit. So one of my friends, Chad and April, have been kind of helping me as a truck and a trailer. And so we've made about 6 loads filled with stuff. And so I started to fill up some of the shelves here and get a real sense for how much product I actually have. It's really pretty darn incredible how much we've accumulated, how much my dad has hoarded, which will probably pay off for us if the supply chain becomes a bit of an issue going forward here. So I was kind of excited to go, not excited to do the work, because man, it's exhausting. We've been here, Bryce and I have been here till 10, 11 o'clock at night, every night. And Bryce was here till like 4 in the morning the other day, getting the giveaway, the M5 giveaway set up. And so doing all this work to get this side set up, you've seen all the videos I've edited, so I've shot and edited, and everybody's been working from home. Kyle and Jeff have been killing it, answering questions. The warehouse team has been doing an extreme amount of work. And so I've been saying this, I've been harping on this since even right at the start of the potential for them to shut things down. And I've been harping on, figure out a way, if you're an employee, to make it so that you're worth more than anyone could ever give up. so it's time to double down. And so I feel like Chad and I were kind of joking around that when we were over there, making the third load, and I'm watching the sales on Shopify that you guys have been buying, and when the more we sweat, the more thousands would come in sales. And so it was just kind of an interesting or a funny little thing we came up with, that if we worked harder, if I worked a little bit harder, that the results come in from that, even though that's more of a joke. But all of the work that Bryce has put in, and Mike has put in, and the warehouse team, my dad have put in, and the making sacrifices, splitting up the teams, coming in on Saturday and Sunday, Ted putting in extra hours, and my mom packaging and teaching a new packer how to pack things. All of the resulting of you guys supporting that, all of that resulted in the business continuing to do pretty well, actually extremely well. This will be our first $1 million month, almost certainly. If not, we'll blow through that this month here. So thank you to all of you for responding to that, and I feel like the efforts put in by all, it's almost like you guys are recognizing that. So the M5 giveaway is already a massive success. I don't know where we're at. Again, my break even on the car is probably 90-something thousand, high 80s, low 90s. I don't know where we're at, but we're well on our way to giving the car away in 30 days, or less than 30 days now. All kinds of cool stuff. I'm really proud of all the ideas that we came up with as a group. The posters, the renders, the banners, the G-Technic thing that we sold out immediately, and had to have them make more. The individual and numbered Obsessed Garage G-Technic kit. It's even got G-Technic questioning, can we make some sort of OG specific coating that is something maybe even better than CSL. So anyway, it's been really cool to watch and see you guys respond to these cockamamie schemes I'm coming up with. I've got something really, really big that I think you guys are going to be excited about. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but in about 2 weeks I'll be able to announce it. But something, I like to be conscious, top of mind. I'm going to hold on to this one. It's big enough and cool enough. I'm going to hang on to this one for a little bit, and I'm going to announce it when it happens to make sure everything's good to go. But the story is going to be good. The reveal of what I'm doing is going to be good, and then the resulting videos I think is going to be pretty well received. I think you guys are going to get a kick out of it, so I'm excited for that. But the next evolutionary step now is to evolve, and I share a lot of the stuff inside the Hex. But the next step is to evolve our picking, packing, receiving, and then ultimate shipping. Our process is time to evolve. We have to step up, rise to the occasion. I want to continue to. You ordered at 2 p.m. and next thing you know, you're getting an indicator at 3 p.m. that my dad's got it out the door. I want to be able to continue to maintain that for as long as humanly possible, if not forever, and staff it appropriately, but also appropriately chase automation and things like that. So anyway, my desk setup is coming together. I just got I got my Universal Audio Apollo Twin X. This will be what drives my microphone, and or receives the input from my microphone, and also drives. I'm getting a set of. I've been shopping for a set of high-end headphones. Notice I got my ISO acoustic stands, thanks to the guy who suggested these to me. I love these. I set them up on the Dynaudios over there. I've got 5-inch Dynaudio LYD 48s. The last live stream, a gentleman suggested I stop screwing around, and that I get the Apple Pro XDR display. So that's going right there. And then I'll show you the wiring and all of that stuff. I'm sure there'll be a video coming up here soon. All right, let's see. What questions do you guys have? Fee, thanks for the super chat. Did I ever ask if you'd hire me? Once, maybe. This is a good question. We're going to be hiring more people, it seems, if this continues. You know, if we continue to do as well as we're doing, you guys continue to respond. I just got off the phone with Milwaukee Tools. It's looking pretty good. I'd say I'm probably 85% sure I'm going to be able to sell that. I think I figured out a way into Ego blowers as well, to be able to sell that product. Their compressors are going to do, I think, pretty well for us. The continued pursuit of going and heading toward garage design services. There's also going to be, again, more product development with detailing product lines as I continue to hone the process. Add things like some of the ancillary stuff like metal polishes that Bryce and I were yelling at each other about here today, and other products like maybe developing something like the Obsessed Garage tire dressing. So there's going to be opportunities. Get out of here, Bryce.
You got your $100.
What?
$100 question. No question there.
Oh, shoot. Hang on, let me answer this one first.
There's nothing there though, but he just gave you.
Oh, well, thanks. Who's that? Is that Yoshi giving me more money?
No.
Oh. Anyway, thanks for the $100. That's freaking sweet. So I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, Fee is asking about getting a job, and he's asking me a bunch of times in a very annoying fashion. One thing you'll learn from me, as if you're interested in ever getting a job here, is that you have to catch me at the right time. Obviously, I have to be hiring at the moment. And requisite one, everybody here knows this, is you cannot annoy me. I'm too old for that. I've learned too many lessons. I'm able to spot it in a second, that if someone's going to annoy me, that you got no shot. So I hope that answers your question. So let's see. Oh yeah, there is no question. $100 super chat. Red F82. Thanks, man. It means a lot if somebody does that and isn't asking anything in return. That's something that I would do. I appreciate that, man. Let's see. There was another super chat here. Road Rage. How much to get Matt to wear a wig? I thought it said ring, no wig. There's no amount of money that you could get me to do that. Fee, I have an Ego contact. It's not the issue of having a contact, it's the issue of getting approval for Ego. That's the tricky part. All right, Dallas O says, looking for the follow-up on OG Canada, no more teasing. Canada will be the first place I would enter into. That's assuming it's not too late for some copy up there to copy me. Actually, it wouldn't even matter because I would go up there and beat him at my own. How are you going to beat me at my own game? So, there's a lot of. It would cost me so much time and energy, and there'd be so many logistics I would have to manage, and a lot of traveling I would have to do. I'm just not there yet. Despite the fact that I'm leaving money on the table and I'm leaving sales on the table, and yes, I want to have OG Canada and OG Australia, OG UK, OG Germany. I want to have these things, and yeah, I think I can get there. And OG West Coast. It's brand new. I'm 3 years into this, and to take that kind of a risk. From an energy and emotional perspective, you'd probably see a major drop-off in output and the stuff that I'm producing. I'm so deeply ingrained in the product creation phase and the content creation portion of the business, and it's so reliant on me to do that, I think it would be a huge mistake to push into that. And to just pick somebody and pretend like they're me, I'm going to drive them crazy. They're going to drive me crazy to pick somebody to be distribution in Canada just to make a few bucks. I think would be a really big mistake. So I'm going to trust my gut on this one. I'd love to go to OG Canada right now and then deal with the importation of the product and then price the product accordingly. But I don't know. I'm just not there yet. I think the logistical way to do that would be to not bring things from the U.S. It'd be to bring it direct from the country of origin right into Canada, and that would be a huge undertaking for me to do that and start it from scratch. So Anyway, just something to consider. Payment to erase all my previous inquiries. So you understand what I'm saying, right? So learn your lesson. You can't annoy me, otherwise I'm going to dismiss you. But you just have to keep an eye out for when I have jobs that posted. That's how you get in the door. It's like catching money in motion. When I was a financial advisor, I had to catch people not by annoying them and bombarding them. It was by gently reminding them I'm here, and or making the call to them at the right time when something changed, like a job change or something like that. Aaron Davis asked, unbox the Apple display. Yeah, I got the Pro XDR, the Pro XDR stand, and the Pro XDR, the what do they call it? The screen that's a matte screen. Crap, I'm going to do a terrible review if I don't even know what it's called. I haven't seen any videos on that at all, so hopefully that'll help offset the cost of it. Hello from Sweden. Christopher asks how the giveaway is going. I think we're 60 or 70, 80,000 in sales. I don't know what the margins are on that, so I'd say we're probably a third of the way, into me recovering what I put in the car. Hopefully I'll make some money on it for doing all the work. Let's see. Hello from New York. I was watching your blend mount video and saw this pop up. So win-win. Yeah, thanks, man. That's a win-win for me. Thanks for watching. Let's see. I missed the weekly podcast. Yeah, I think I wanted to get on this. I talked to Nick at 2, and I figured it's always better to do this later for you. This is many more, I guess many people are home, but many are home from work. The later in the day, the better on Friday. It's just hard because I don't want to ask Chris to have to stay late. So Nick says, I just bought an E90 M3. Nice. Chase the cleaning it up. Let's see. Now that Bryce is there, you actually have a decent live stream. Yeah, that's what Jeff says. Coronavirus update from OGHQ. There really is no update. I think there's 150 people in Lake County that supposedly have it, so it's really not affected us at all. Let's see. Hey, I'm new to detailing. What's the best kit to get? If you're new to detailing, this is part of why I built ObsessedGarage.com in the beginning and still today, the layout of the website. The design of the website, the way we have it laid out, is designed for you to kind of look through it, work through product and process, and then figure out what you need. That's I think an important part of what I'm providing. What I'm not a resource for, and don't really have much of an interest, is for the detailing on a budget, or how to fix a swirled out piece of crap car and restore it. I would be miserable if I chased that. I've thought about it many times. I see Larry making these restorative videos that get massive views, and I'm sure his business is doing well because of it. You have to have a passion for that. I just don't. I don't have that passion for it. And so if I didn't have a passion for it, the video wouldn't be any good, and I'd just be faking it. And I'd have to edit it down, and then I'd have to fake you into believing it. And I don't want to do that. So when you're new to detailing, the best stuff to get is to, I think, work through the Obsessed Garage site. I think to take your time and buy better stuff. And I would skip. I'm helping you skip a lot of the mistakes that I've made over the years. So even though we're talking about using better stuff, and in some cases, best stuff, you have to. I think you have to take your time and follow along with what I'm suggesting. And whether you love it as much as I love it when you buy something, it may be debatable, but I don't think there will be anything where you'll say, man, this doesn't work. This is no good. Let's see. Can you talk about Angel Wax Clarity? Is it coming? Yeah, Angel Wax Clarity is coming. It is on the way. I've ordered it. We got to get things from Europe, which is not the easiest thing to do now in the current economic environment. So I placed an order. I think it was 200 or maybe 300 bottles. It's dilutable down to 19 to 1. But those of you for like when the winter months come, you're going to want probably 2 or 3. I don't think they sell it in a gallon. I've got to find that out, because if it's good and people really like it, you know, I've used it on the M5. I put it in the Raptor, but I haven't used it for 10 years. So I think it's great. I think it's going to be pretty decent, and it's good enough for me to buy it and to suggest that you buy it and try it too. So I should have it in a not too distant future. Is that another $100? Or am I making that up? Let's see. There we go. Yoshi. Dang it, Yoshi. Can I head up OG Antarctica? I can sell Beadmaker to penguins so they can slide better. Yeah. Antarctica would be the last place, but thanks, man. Appreciate you. Lewis Martin Jr. says, just to follow up on my Facebook post, the 1M portrait I'm getting is bigger than just the car. It's me having something to aspire to. Thanks, sir. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. When Bryce suggested the idea to me to sell pictures of my cars, I feel a little uncomfortable with that. But he kind of convinced me, talked me into doing renders. I'm so glad he did, because I think they look sweet. You see out of focus, but you see the GT3 behind me. I'm glad, man. I appreciate you appreciating it, and I understand both the yin and yang of what I'm doing here. I understand that some of you don't get it, you don't like it, you don't want me to have any success. I understand that. It's not about me, it's about you. But I understand that. But I also understand when people appreciate when you get what I'm talking about, and whether you're aspiring to do what it is I do, or I've said something that resonated with you, or I'm living a lifestyle that you would want to live, whatever it is, whatever connects us together. I was talking to Nick Bear about this on the podcast. I think my main goal in this whole thing, money is just a result. My main goal on this is to leave everything, including my garage, your life, my life, the world, a little bit better place. I'm not here to help anybody. No, you don't want to be helped. I'm just here to share my path, and I think about how much I've learned by getting little tidbits of other people's paths, and I found that there's value in that. And so I get that a picture of, although it's my car, it's more symbolic of, one, it's us being in relationship together. I almost want to say it's like you're thanking me for me it's validation. For you, it's just a token of your appreciation, and I get that, and I'm appreciative that we can do that in this world. Dallaso, Yoshi's putting air ride on an E92. No, E92 is going to get Bill Stein PSS 10s. I think they call it something else. It's the one that functions with EDC. What do you want, Bryce? Trying to sell me some more metal polish? All right, where was I in the comments? The super chats always mess me up. Let's see. The helmet looks good next to the print. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. I like it. Let's see. I talked about angel wax. Notice there's no way to close the nozzle on the new bottles. Is that normal? Yeah, you can't. It doesn't have a close option. The way it's designed, I don't see how that would be possible. But I also found that they don't leak, so I haven't found them pee-pee dribbling out the front. So I think we're okay. I haven't had any of mine leaking. Like the Tolcos. The Tolcos usually don't leak either. Like all the Griots bottles, that red sprayer, a lot of times I found would leak all over the darn countertop if I didn't close it. Matt, what car you've sold, I'm assuming you've sold in the past, would you bring back if you could? I kind of learned that lesson on a S2000 when I bought the CR. Well, first I bought the AP2 and then the CR. You know, the cars in the past probably need to stay there. The one car I would like to have right at the moment would probably be the Carrera S. I just think, you know, I enjoyed the audio in that. The Burmester was awesome. It was comfortable. It was loud when I wanted it to be, quiet when I wanted it to be. It was a 7-speed manual transmission. So I'm hoping the GT4 takes that spot. Uh-oh, knocked over posters. So I'm hoping the GT4 takes that spot for me. But that would probably be the one car that I bring back. Let's see. Got my Rupes in 24 house today. Thanks for quick shipping. Thanks for the purchase, Devin. Appreciate it. Have you used Kisho coatings from Japan? I have not. You know, coatings are hard to use, lots of them, because you put it on and they last so long. I'm probably experienced, a dozen different coatings. And so there's lots out there. And this stresses me out at night. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just not sure. Am I a fraud because I haven't tried everything out in the world? But it's hard to, you gotta pick a process and stick with it. My buddy Jeff Johnson from Nike, I've got Nikes on, so we're good. I also have my Nike lunch box, so got that here today as well. So back on track. So how you doing, Jeff? Are you going to find a place to display one of each prints that would be super cool? Yes, that's Chelsea. I'm going to do one here, but in the form of an art wall. And then the guys want to do the media office. Art wall, it's a GIK acoustics treatment like I have back in the podcast studio. I'm going to do same thing. We're going to line up the media room because we need some acoustic treatment in there, get a little better lighting, set that up so it looks cool. We'll probably end up having 3 or 4 people jammed in there, and probably 2 more people in the entryway. So I want to put them there, want something here as well. So that's the plan with the renders and stuff. Is it true you sold the gym? Yeah, I need to do an Inside the Hex video on that. But yeah, Brian, who owned the gym in the past, is moving back. So he moved to Destin, got his farm set up, and so he's going to be spending time back here more often than not. His son is here. And so Brian, I pitched the idea to him of, would you want to have it back? Because I've kind of done my thing with it. It's kind of like the M5. So picture the gym like the M5. First off, I bought it on a certain premise. The premise was if I bought a gym, I'd get in shape, right? We see that hasn't worked. So I bought the M5 with the premise that it would become the family flex vehicle. Well, now it's too nice to be the family flex vehicle. Michelle doesn't want to drive it. And it's not a very good back seat for the kids, which I underestimated. This is why test drives would probably be smart. The M5's moving on to the next home. So I've taken it. I've done all that I love to do to it. I've then perfected it, and I'm going to give it away or sell it. And so the gym, this kind of actually worked out pretty well. I got it, cleaned it, reorganized it, bought a building. It's in a perfect building. It's in a great location. Hired a coach, got the coach set up. Michelle was instrumental in kind of helping get the place done. I figured out what's the best way to do the audio setup. So now there's a gym that exists here locally that is what I want it to be. I'm probably never really going to make any money on the gym, and so the goal of the gym was just to have it exist. And maybe pay a few bucks out to Michelle in some form of a small salary or something. But the main goal would be that the gym would pay rent and I'd own the building in 5 or 6 years free and clear, and then just generate some passive income via the building, and then get to go to the place that I want to go to. The problem is that I can't contribute to it in the way that it really needs to be contributed to by the owner. And so Brian is the guy for that. And so when he said he was going to be spending time here again and coming back, I pitched the idea to them and said, hey, I've taken, just like my M5, I've taken and perfected it and set it up. If you can take it from here and run with it, I would probably appreciate the place more than now. And so that's what we're doing. So I sold it back to him. I own the building. The gym is going to pay me rent, and now I got a gym set up the way I want it set up. So it's a win-win for everybody. So that's the deal. Let's see what else. There was another super chat here. Make sure there weren't a couple super chats. Oh, Kurt. Sorry, Kurt. I missed it. Is that Kurt Rice? It must be. Hey, Matt. I finished up washing my M2. Yeah, it is, Kurt. After a beautiful drive through the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for staying open to supply my addiction. Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate the support. I'm sure I'll take some heat from some people about stay home. Well, this is our home, so I am staying home. So say what you want. We're gonna keep pushing. Dallas Oath, run us through the next 5 to 10 items on the short list. You mentioned tire shine, sonic tool, backpack, etc. The short list is a really long list. So the Whirler compressor should be up soon. Sonex Cut Max will be up, so those are already in the works. The Incredi pole for washing the roof of the Raptor, I'll have a video on that soon. That product will be up. None of these are earth-shattering new products. Obviously, all the M5 stuff is up. And so now, if Milwaukee comes through, Milwaukee will be a big focus for me coming up here and distilling it down to what are the products you need. Both hand tools. I think Milwaukee has some really cool hand tools, like their levels and tape measures and things like that are something that are really interesting to me. But then all the power tools, which ones make sense. So I'm hoping Milwaukee's coming. Let's see what else. Geon, I'll probably have a few Geon things to enter into the product line. I've got to play with those a bit more. Let's see. I still want to chase DeFelsco and get some sort of paint depth gauge, even though they're pretty terribly inaccurate. I think it would be something that I could provide value to. What is the value of them? Let's see, what else? Oh, the Orange Vice, it's sitting over there. I'm going to be mounting it probably this evening. I'll make a video for you. And I've got to call them about being able to become a dealer and sell those, provide those solutions to you. Let's see. Trying to think of what else. I got to get on the Cox hose reels and adding new swivels as an option, and then also different colors. Let's see. Lighting is always on my mind. Creating some new lighting solutions. Oh, countertops. So these clearly are the way to go. These desks, this as a countertop on this MSS Plus is freaking fantastic. So. Shoot, we went kind of not so good looking here, the video feed. So anyway, yeah, those are some of the things I'm interested in. Fee, thanks for the money. Now you're trying to bribe me. Let's see. Supporting you is respecting the source for me. That's a concept that I appreciate you sharing. Knowing how much your coach charges, I keep getting off cheap. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good point. All right, Wayne Gordon, thanks, man. Just wanted to say thanks for making it feel normal to live with OCD. I've been accused of not actually having obsessive-compulsive disorder, which I really wish they were correct. I'm slowly working toward an obsessed garage, but appreciate the escape your videos give us. Thank you. Thanks, man. One of the things I worry about in the future is as this thing continues to snowball, and as I continue to have more and more resources, both money, people, expertise, this chase, for me, gets really fast and really big and really expensive. And so I need to start, I'm thinking about this a lot, I need to start reminding people that this is what I do for a living. I want to share as much with you as humanly possible. And that doesn't mean you have to keep pace with what's happening here, that you have to change your cabinets as much as I change them. And I'm going to swap out the twin bush lift with, that's another product that'll become a Nussbaum will be coming here soon. So I don't want you to have to worry about. I want like what I mentioned earlier. You don't need every detailing product. You need to kind of build out your essentials. And I would suggest everybody, take your time. If you have the means, then do it. And I'm going to save you a lot of money by teaching you to get the right thing right off the bat. But just keep in mind that I get an M5 and do what I do with it. I understand it's completely impractical if you weren't doing what I do for a living. So anyway, thanks Wayne for the support. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go back up here. Where was I on my questions? Oh man, you guys are really bought in here today. This is great. All right, rule number 1, never annoy Matt, ever. Jeff, yes. Good, smart man. All right, and it's hard to annoy me. I mean, if you just do stuff. I mean, there's no reason why I should ever get annoyed. All right, man, you guys are killing it today. Let's go back up here. Okay, I already answered those. M5 giveaway. Running f.2.8 to get that crisp look. But we're looking real out of focus, Bryce. Do you see this? Sold out of CSL, ordered some last week. Bryce, are we sold out of CSL again? We shouldn't be sold out. What's the most popular item for the... Huh?
I just checked this afternoon. Is it sold out?
Yeah, somebody's saying it's sold out. We should have it, man. Shoot Kyle an email. He'll love you. Kyle at obsessgarage.com. What's the most popular item for the giveaway? What's the most popular item for the giveaway? Is it CSL?
CSL.
Yeah. Yeah, CSL XO.
Mainly because of car.
Let's see. Here we go. Don't waste money on Apple's display. Spend them somewhere else. Nope, I want it. There's no such thing as wasting money on Apple for me. Any update on your 718 GT4 allocation? Yeah, I mean, it's good to go. My deposit's down. My build is in. The only thing I'm considering is I think I should just man up and do the darn sport buckets instead of... The philosophy was I'm going to get the regular seats because I'll be getting in and out of the car, and that's going to become my daily driver. You seeing this where it's all, the resolution's all whacked?
No.
Yours looks good?
Go to your resolution.
All right, sorry people, I'll keep it lower res, so, okay, all right,
Yeah, it's just, no, we got CSL. He might have been talking about when it first went out of stock.
Yeah, CSL is in stock. Technically we don't have it, but it's in stock on the computer. It'll be here any day, today or tomorrow. Tomorrow probably, or Monday. We wouldn't get it shipped out yet anyway. Let's see, my ceramic coated car feels like it's very contaminated. Well, that means you probably need it's polishing time. All right, what's your recommended process to decon? So decon process is, for those of you who haven't heard me harp on this so many times, decon process is decon soap. So some sort of soap to strip the surface, or some sort of stripping. So I have my own soap that used to be a chemical guy's thing that now I have. So decon soap, so wash it, rinse it after you're done washing it, then iron remove it. So spray on an iron remover of some sort, or Geon or Carpro or Ferrex from any sort of iron removing product. Then rinse it again, and then you're gonna auto scrub it or clay it. With a lubricant, and then rinse it again, and then dry it, and then go to your polishing is the normal process. How much taxes, so how much in taxes, do we need to expect to pay for the M5? I'm guessing 1/3 of the value of the car. So here's how taxation works on something like this. So we're going to issue you, we valued it at $65,000 for the bond. So even though I'm into 90 or so into it, we're going to take we're valuing it at $65,000. So you win the car. You're going to get a 1099 issued next, say by January 31st of next year, for $65,000. So you would go and look at your marginal tax bracket. Now, let's say you make $100,000. you have all kinds of deductions and things like that. Mortgage interest. If you itemize, you'll have standard personal standard deduction, things like that. Deduction for family members and things like that. Child credits, all those kind of things. And so you have, let's just say your adjusted gross income after you take off all those numbers. Your adjusted gross income is $100,000. Then you have the $65,000 come in. So now you have $165,000 in income. Let's say you've already paid all of your appropriate taxes on your $100,000 via your paycheck, and you're going to have to pay tax on the $65,000. Now you go look at the marginal table. Let's say the blended rate on that is, on that extra $65,000. I guess it wouldn't be blended. So if the marginal rate was 25%, you're going to pay 25% tax on the $65,000. So in that case, you're going to pay, what is that, 12, 13. And then 25, so say $14,000, $15,000 in tax is what you're going to pay. So if you don't have $15,000, you could do a couple things. You could sell the car. You could sell a bunch of the parts, like the exhaust and things, the intake and stuff like that. Put the factory one back on and raise some cash that way. You could take out a loan against the car, so you can get you'll have the title for it. So you can get a loan against the car for $15,000. So imagine you have a $90,000 M5 built by yours truly, or put together by yours truly, and you're going to have like a $200 a month car payment. I'd take that all day. So that's how it will work. Which ego blower did you say really is the best one, and what is your reasoning? So 530 is the lightest, so it's the most ergonomic. And requires the least amount of battery power. So 530 is a nice option. The 650 is the biggest and heaviest, requires the most amount of battery power, so you definitely want the 5 amp hour battery, which makes it heavier. The 580 is in the middle. My favorite is the 580. You know me, everybody always accuses me of wanting the most expensive thing. Well, I like the 580 the best because the 650 has this really high-pitched whistle to it. And so the 580, I find the 530 has plenty of output, so they all kind of work the best. With David Beaver's new short attachment that we're going to be able to hopefully offer at some point, I got to call him and ask him what the ETA would be, because it's freaking awesome. I would choose the 580. If money doesn't matter, if the cost doesn't matter, you buy the 580. You have 2 5 amp hour batteries, that way you can switch them if you need to. But all 3 of them, you can get around a whole truck on 1 5 amp hour battery. The 530 has an advantage because you could get the 2.5 amp hour batteries. Get through a whole car with that in turbo mode if you hustle it, and save a lot of money that way. So I would choose the 530 or the 580 if I have the choice. Will you be doing another garage giveaway? Definitely. I don't know when, but definitely. Red, no worries. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Red F82. He's the one who donated $100. My ceramic coated car feels very contaminated, crunchy. I already answered that. If you need any OEM Porsche parts, buddy, let me know. I'm a parts advisor here at Bluegrass Porsche here in Kentucky and can get them for you a lot cheaper. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'll hit you up. Do you or are you going to make 3D printing Ego 640 blower tip to shorten the tube? Yes, we will have that at some point. Assuming David sent it to me because he wants to sell them. So bring back your old man Corvette outfit. I burnt it, including the key to the Corvette. I'm deathly afraid because I have one key. I don't want to lose it. I'm screwed. Let's see. This is great. Get Rad to run it. That was Canada. He's talking about Rick's Audi double channel. Let's see. Annoyance free. Let's see. What about OG Greece? I think we could service Greece via UK or Germany. Let's see. How about the Pan guy? So Pan's a friend of mine. We're loosely acquainted, but he has my cell phone number. I have his. We'll text from time to time. Pan's method is not unintelligent. Like, I know some of you guys get bent out of shape because Pan he makes videos and he's a positive dude. Like, he's a happy, positive dude. And so he's creating a brand, or creating a brand of information. It's very different than my brand, and that does, just like Larry's brand is different, and pick anyone, John Forensic Detailing, or White Details, or any of the other detailing people. Even some of the ones that I forget who that new guy who blew up instantly. So Pan's discussion is that he's going to test a bunch of products, and the way he makes a living is by those products paying him to talk about it. And not all the videos he does are sponsored, but companies will pay for a review of the product. And reviews generally are positive. This is why I tell you that reading reviews on Amazon generally aren't the end-all be-all. So when Pan's providing a resource that people want, that's why he has 500,000 subscribers. I haven't looked in a little while, but that's why he has a whole lot more subscribers than I do. He's giving people what they want. That's what they want. They want him to tell everything. He's telling people what they want to hear. That's what they're asking him to tell them. And so how can you fault that? I don't. I can't. I'm not going to do it because I'm not as nice as he is. And so my niche is very different. And so I would give Pan, I would give him the benefit of the doubt if I were you. He's a freaking good dude, and he loves what he's doing. He's very clear. He's super passionate about it. And his style is what the masses, what the general public wants. And that's his chosen path. And it's probably a smart financial decision. He's going to get a lot more YouTube revenue than I ever will. He's going to get money from sponsors and things like that, and he doesn't have to deal with any of the bull crap that I have to deal with. So like Bryce, telling me to use this goofy metal polish that he's been talking about. I'm not going to let him live this one down. Let's see, OG North. Yeah, OG everywhere. OG in every state and country. Get out of here, Bryce.
Heard my name.
Get out of here.
You got it.
Let's see. What are your thoughts on the Mercedes C63 AMG or Mercedes AMG 663? I wanted to love a Mercedes, and then you hear them, and they freaking fart machines. They sound terrible, like terrible. The previous gen, like the whatever, like the W204 or whatever you call it. The problem for me with Mercedes is that they don't have like a strong. They have this massive, F1 background, but like General Motorsport, I feel like they just don't make cars that handle really well. That's not their focus. I love the interiors of them. I love the style, and sometimes, but they like the C63, from what I understand, and listening to Steve Dinan, it kind of has a mess of a rear end. I've don't like how they sound, so one of the great things about Mercedes is they always sounded great, but it sounds terrible, and it has a freaking crappy automatic transmission. Like, it doesn't have a traditional dual clutch transmission, it certainly doesn't have a manual option. It's just, I'm just not really into cruisers, and the C63 is more of a highway cruiser than anything, so I've just never been a huge fan of it. I've looked into buying one many times. Dallas O says, just make Kyle move up here. Kyle looks like a Canadian. He could fit in. Notice there's no way to close the new valves. I already did that one. Missed the F80 M3. I don't. Hey, longtime follower. I learned so much from you in detailing and in the business in general. Started my own engineering firm inspired from you. Thanks, man. Engineering, that's a tough gig. It was funny. There was a post on Facebook, and there's always some cranky people, right, that hate, that just don't like what I'm doing. And so there was a comment, it's the guy named James or something like that. So there was a comment from one guy, and then the guy James, I see him posting negative stuff all the time. But he's like, basically making a jab that, Larry Cosillo is a real detailer, and Matt, he's a joke. And, I'm gonna make something clear here. If I wanted to be a frickin' detailer, I could be a detailer right this millisecond and be really successful at it. Detailing is not that. I look at my M5, look at my M3, look at my GT3. I do them all myself. They're the Raptor. So I think people need to drop that crap. When I say fake detailer, I'm joking. I just don't want to be a detailer. Why would I want to be a detailer? Would it make a lot less money, work a lot harder? That's the stupidest thing ever. But if I wanted to be a detailer, I could turn it on right this second and have thousands of clients. But again, that's not the best use. It's not my passion. I don't want to be polishing on cars all of the time. So people need to drop that crap. It's ridiculous. Let's see. I can't wait for the Apple stand. Me too. Matt, of all the products Matt, of all the products you've tried, which impressed you most? That's a good question. Let me think about that. I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to ponder that one for a little bit. What's up, Matt? Hope all is well. Yeah, we're doing great. Yeah, Mike says anti-glare. Is that what they call it? I guess so. He probably just Googled it. Let's see. You gonna get the Mac Pro? I want it. There you go. Yeah, nano texture glass is what the Mac Pro XDR display has. Thanks for supporting AR. Kyle Notch, president. Oh heck yeah, man. That's cool. Yeah, I love AR stuff. Obviously, you know, I don't love the cheap electrics, but they're not designed for me. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do more with AR in the future. Let's see. Apologize if you already asked this already, but can we renew our Hex membership to get entries? You know, I've been talking about this forever, because I wanted to do that, and I told Kyle and Bryce, we're freaking doing it. I don't care what you got to do. And then they sat me down and said, look, it just doesn't work. It seems ridiculous. So we have this platform. So Shopify is our base platform. That's where our website is hosted. They provide us our merchant services, all of that. So that's the packaging of our website, whatever you call that. You know, there's BigCommerce, e-commerce, WooCommerce, you know, Shopify. Ours is built on Shopify. And so Shopify, the way it works is you have these like apps, these bolt-on applications. And the bolt-on applications are what provide you resources like our membership program. I didn't want to do it on Patreon. I wanted to build it on my own platform. And so that membership platform, the only one that really exists, is from a company called Bold. And Bold isn't very good, but it's what we got. And so we're trying to make do with what we got. And there is no way to go in and like just change a membership. Like you think that would be like requisite number one. And you just can't do it. And so I was like, well, let's just keep a spreadsheet of people, and then we can just go it just doesn't work. So we can't have that as an option. So you just have to re-up. You know, hopefully you left your same credit card, and we get recurring charges on the card in the future for membership. But yeah, I can't do it. When is the OG dressing going? Ready for sale? I've got to ask Scott where it is. We've got some bottles. We got the gallons. I've got a gentleman helping us create a pumping solution for it, so we have that. Mike and Bryce will be working on next week on some labels or some, what are they called? Labels for the bottles. So we're probably, I would hope three weeks out before I can start talking about it. Let's see, no coronavirus launch edition. As you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of pandering to what's going on. I like to do my own thing, and so I don't want to end up with a bunch of goofy hand sanitizer that I can't get rid of. Let's see. Brad says, Bryce, you got to get him off of the Apple train, get some real computers. If Matt gets a Mac Pro, there goes the 3D printer forever. Yeah. Let's see. Can't wait to get the S2K print. Thanks for buying one, man. Followed you since 3,000 followers. You've come a long way. Thanks, Adam. Hopefully it's for the better. My next Hex Cast video, I want to talk a lot about where I'm at in canceling. I mean, I've been forced to cancel traveling, but I started canceling all my traveling, and I'm honing in on finishing projects and cleaning up my drawers and tinkering and doing the things that I love to do. It's really kind of gotten me back to super invigorated and super fired up. This is my online learning for the day. What's up from New York? Been watching you since the first video. Thanks, Spiro. I think I remember seeing you around. Hope to come back. Hope to come work with you if I move to Florida. I have loads of contamination in my GTI, but don't have any polishers or skills to polish. Is it worth me auto scrubbing clay bar than just bead maker? Yeah, I mean, if your car's already marred and scratched a little bit anyway, I mean, for the first, let's see, from 16 to probably 28 years old, I don't think I've never touched a polish. I didn't know what it was. And so, you know, most people don't know what a polisher is. I actually just talked with Yahoo Canada. You'll probably see me in an article on Yahoo Canada. By the way, if anybody asks you, do you want to do something, the answer is always yes, except for traveling all over the place. So what the heck was I just talking about? Oh, polishing. Yeah, I mean, get the car deconned and get the car clayed and put a fresh coat of something on it. I would put some wax on it, not just bead maker. Put some colonite on it or something like that, or can coat, or something I'm going to be playing with, or some sort of spray sealant like a ceramic hybrid, whatever from somebody, would make sense. So yeah, you don't have to polish. You can kind of work up to that. All right, so there's another super chat here. Ryan, thanks for super chat. Ryan Weaver. Matt, have a company that manufactures eco-friendly fishing lures. We are a few months younger than OG and have learned a ton from you. Would Michelle and the kiddos love some OG-inspired lures? She would literally jump up and down and do a 360. Ryan and Michelle are big-time fishermen, fisherwoman, if that's a thing. So yeah, I'll put it in a video too for you. But yeah, they would absolutely love that. 322 Oak Street, Lady Lake, Florida, 32159. In fact, even better, send me a link and I'll buy them some and support you rather than you sending me anything for free. And I'll put them in a video specifically. I missed this. Zachary Powers. Would it be possible to have Sonic giveaway in the future? I don't think I'll do just a basic Sonic giveaway. To me, I don't want to waste time doing the little baby things. I want to do it big. And so I want to do a whole garage, instead of just a Sonic giveaway, a whole freaking garage full with everything. Let's see. I don't do drinking games, so I'm not going there. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. Go back up to the top here. Where was I? I was back up in the red. Holy crap, you guys are on it today with the darn questions. This is great. I'm not going to be able to get through all of these. Yeah, Eagle Empire says, nah, stick to high-end detailing and products. We can gauge from there what we should splurge on and compare to. Yeah, that's my whole thesis, is that I love the crybabies that get watching you moan through detailing a beat car would be entertaining. No need to fake passion for it. Oh, okay, we can show that comment. That's not a mean one. That would be funny, watching me complain about detailing a crappy car. But yeah, I mean, the whole point of me sharing with you what I like is that you can make an educated decision. People often accuse Obsessed Garage followers as sheep. We're the freaking lions, man. Get out of here. Anybody following me is generally not a sheep. You're freaking, most of you had to make it through a 45-minute video. And then you're making a judgment call here, and you know that I'm not BSing you. So how could you be a sheep for that? Let's see. You see any wax replacing colonite? I doubt it. I don't think so. Maybe some of the Fuso stuff, that Japanese wax that I've never really used. Let's see, Bryce. This is where you campaign for super chat donations to get a 3D printer fund. I don't want any goofy 3D printed tchotchkes. We'd have like tchotchkes all over the place. I don't want that, little figurines and crap. He'd be printing them pictures of himself. I don't want that. Claying or auto scrubber will cause micro marring, so you need to polish. You should polish, Tim. You're correct. But I mean, most of us didn't know what polishing was, 15 years ago. So I think we'd be okay without it. Can you 3M perfect it from Japan anymore? I don't know what he's asking. Can you change your white light on your camera? It's too bright. That's just my milky white skin. So we're gonna change it here soon. I'm gonna order some lights this weekend where we turn off all this stuff and we just have some nice soft boxes. So it's gonna change here shortly. Yeah, you're right, it is too bright in here, but that's just me. It's freaking bright as crap. Let's see, Matt, should I buy a 2017 BMW 340i, fully loaded, certified to 24,000 miles? I don't think I've even driven a 340. Gary, you've listened to Gary. I think he has one. And Gary's legit. White collar grease monkey said, yeah, you should get one. You'll love it. Yeah, so I think it's probably gonna be great. GT3 unit NR7 looks amazing. Thanks to my buddies at Blendmount for making awesome solutions. Thanks for being on here. Pacific Northwest. I'm excited for this, but this quarantine thing is delaying. Let's see. Oh, his 340 he's talking about is delaying it. Love the bottles. Just wanted to make sure I was right. Yes, you are correct about them. They don't lock down. Build the next Obsessed Garage Canada. The duty and exchange rate of shipping is killing us, I know. It's freaking nuts. All right, there's another super chat I'll get to you in 1 second. I just want to stay organized here. What about doing a stainless steel tip for the spray bottles with OG logo on it, and then the stainless steel funnel? And when will the stainless steel funnel be available? Rusty just sent me a photo of his mock-up of the funnel that would fit on the quick disconnect. It's pretty ace. It's going to be the most expensive funnel on the planet. When did the garage giveaway series start? I was texting Emmanuel last week. I think July, end of June, early July. It's going to be a 22 by 22 garage, and we're going to do it right, man. It's going to be legit. Let's see. Are KO2s your go-to truck tire? Yes, I like them a lot. What color is the GT4 going to be? Gentian blue, that kind of dark metallic blue. Any chance of OG generic bottle labels to put on bottles? Yes, that's part of the long-term plan, or the short-term plan is to get those for the bottles. We gotta wait till Europe gets back online so I can start ordering some more bottles so we can start working on that. Let me go down to that super chat. I'll get to you cars and motorcycles. Let's see. Vigor Auto Detailing. Hey Matt, thank you so much for the conversation we had at Merit Partners during the summit. That completely changed my perspective on how to operate. Yeah, man, appreciated the time. Thanks for listening to me yap on about something I'm passionate about. Let's see. So let's go back to where I was. I'm gonna have to go get a drink. You guys are killing it with the questions here today. Really enjoyed chats and videos. I only found you guys back in December after I ordered a car capsule and had to set it up. Since then, I've ordered thousands from you guys. Not a detailer. Appreciate it, man. You're the prototype customer, as the not a detailer, but appreciates a nice garage, and I want to be able to provide solutions to everybody. I like cars, and I like home theater audio stuff, and I like garage stuff, and your channel has plenty of that. Keep up the great content. Thanks, Lloyd. Appreciate it. Are you going to do a print of the GT350 or Gen 1 Raptor? Yes. So that'll be part of the Corvette giveaway, which theoretically would happen 20-something days from now. So the Corvette giveaway, I'm going to do all the American cars, the GT350, Gen 1, Gen 2 Raptors. That will also be the two white GT3s will also be done then as well. Regarding the giveaway, if I'm a member already, would it count as an entry? No. Only if you bought a membership since we launched the giveaway on April 15th. Looking forward to your 718 GT4 spec video. Recently noticed Porsche allows you to spec CCBs in gloss black versus yellow on their site. Which are you going with? I'm going to be doing yellow. I just think yellow and blue looks so good for some reason. So I'll be doing the yellow calipers, but I've seriously considered doing the black ones. What would you recommend using to remove surface scratches on a plastic golf cart body? I assume too much heat is not good for the plastic. I think you ought to be able to polish it. In fact, I think the Rupes displays they use at SEMA and all of their, all the trade shows they go to, I think is a fiberglass or plastic bodied like golf cart that they polish on all day. So you should be able to polish that like normal. Obviously, just be mindful of heat. But I would probably polish it and then coat it or wax it for sure. Do you ever look into CarPro, gray towel, or orange border for wheels? I used to use the CarPro orange towels. I think I used the orange towels back in the beginning of the channel. But then I found the rag company and I found them to be a little better. You could have done a gym giveaway. I like what you're thinking there. When will you have hose reels in black? Also, are you planning on offering the electric one with a locking power cord? Yes to both. Black, I just got to get moving. I want to get everything in here from the storage units, get this thing set up, get through the giveaway. And so I'm probably a month and a half out from having all of those here in stock ready to roll. We can order you one now. It just takes a couple of weeks to get it. Let's see. Question. The Rupes 3, the product that comes with it and the pads also, is it best to use those or better to use pad and product or use what comes with it? So he's talking about the 3-inch, the Rupes 3-inch, the LHR 75E. I like the Rupes pads the best, but Buff and Shine has good pads. Like Country has great pads. You can save a few bucks there. I like the Rupes ones. I also like McGuire's, microfiber pads on there. But I would just go to the polishing page on obsessedgarage.com, and I'd follow my advice if I were you. I've kind of played with a lot of different stuff, and I like them the most. Let's see. Where are we at? Howdy, I just bought a GT3 RS and love all your content. What mobile kit did you put in yours? I haven't put one in there. I want to do that, and so I want to figure out a way to create some neat solution over time. But that's going to require me to come up with a bottle of my own, so that I want to have matching bottles and have a little kit that you can put it in. That's probably a little bit longer term project to come up with that. When I travel, I'll take a bucket with O&R, bead maker, glass cleaner, and some towels so that I can clean it up. Matt, looking for an OBD2 reader for the Porsche 987.2 and Macan S to reset service interval lights and check engine codes. Do you know if Cobb Tuner can do both tuning, code reading, or 3 sets? I don't think the Cobb Tuner can, but I'm not sure. I have a durometric tool that I've never ever been able to get work, but I also haven't tried very hard. Bryce and I are going to work on that here soon because I do want to reset the light on my GT3 RS, but it should theoretically be a durometric. It doesn't work on a Mac though, you got to use a freaking PC. Any idea how much tax will be on the M5? Again, I talked about that earlier, so go back and watch it earlier. Keep up the awesome work, Matt, thanks. This Joey guy keeps asking the same question over and over again. I want to grab the Swiss Tracks system from you soon. That will be sweet. I appreciate that. Have you financed the rapid growth of OG? Have you had to obtain bank borrowings, and how have you optimized those? So the only money that I put into Obsessed Garage, I bought $38,000 of shirts, which I used from savings that I used from wealth management, that I've earned in wealth management, and so I bought $38,000 of shirts. And I'm pretty sure all of the proceeds from the shirt sales are what has financed and purchased everything else in Obsessed Garage, outside of maybe a car or two that I bought over the last several years. And so I have no I have a note on the M5. It's like 2% interest. I have a note on the GT3 RS at I think 3.5% interest. I have $150,000 note on the GT3. Those are the only two debts that I have. I have a $100,000 line of credit, which does nothing for me, but mainly just to establish a relationship with the local bank. So I would like to have $1 million line of credit established. And so I haven't financed anything outside of a car. Everything's been purchased cash. The first time I used terms with a supplier was Mosmatic. That was the first time I used 90-day terms. I think we only used 30 days of it. I just didn't want to, we had a couple $180,000 bill when the first OG spec stuff came in, and I didn't want to write that check. So we wrote a check for I think 100, and then floated 80 of it for a little bit, and then ended up paying off a couple of days later. So that's the first time I ever even used terms. But God willing, I'll pay cash forever. The goal, this pandemic has lit a fire under me that I've got to start paying myself. I've got to start saving money. I keep putting the money back in because I have money saved from wealth management days, my old 401k and IRAs and all of that stuff, and my brokerage account. But I haven't taken any money outside of, I take a $140,000 salary from Obsessed Garage. And then, of course, you get shareholder distributions, but the shareholder distributions have been put right back in. So I haven't saved like I need to save in order to make this thing, bulletproof for the future. So it'll be really important for me. The last 2 years have been a tough couple of years because I exited wealth management. I had some imputed income and things like that I had to absorb and pay tax on. And so that put me behind on 2019 taxes, which I'll pay here come September, which paying 2019 taxes puts me behind to pay 2020 taxes. I paid everything on time, but we're talking about, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that I'll be able to, once I get through this patch, that I'll be able to just stockpile. And so my goal would be, let's say we do 10 million in revenue at say 20% pre-tax margins. That if I could pocket, outside of what I take, normally my normal salary, and then buy some cars and some stuff like that. If I could pocket, $1 million or $2 million bucks a year, that makes me bulletproof. Because then if the going got tough and sales slowed, I could fund it myself and never have to pay. I'll talk more about that in the future on Inside the Hex, but it's time for me to stop screwing around and chasing so hard. I need to be a bit more calculating with when I launch a new product. I need to pay myself first and then launch the product. What I've done is not paid myself and launched the product and bought the inventory. And so I need to be a little bit smarter on that in the future. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Have you tried any of the Rag Company's new products? The interior and the soap. It's on the list. I'll try more of them. I have a couple of Milwaukee tools I'll be purchasing soon, hopefully from you. I like what you're thinking there. I hope so too. So let's see, we're here at this one, all-in-one channel. So let me go down and answer these super chats. Let's see, make sure. Matt, have you heard of Americana line of detailed products? I'm not interested. Let's see, Corey says, what up, Maddie? I'm, of course, an obsessed individual, much like yourself. I loved your rant on the M2 comp recently. As an owner of an OG M2, I would love to see you take on one. The N55 sounds amazing. I agree. The S55 fart machine is not my bag. Hold on, let me answer Michelle. Are you doing dinner at the garage tonight? I'm down for that if you are. Live streaming now. Let's see here. Another couple super chats. Craig Seifert, thanks for 10 euros, or is that 10 pounds? 10 mores than dollars. I like that. I had a trip planned to the U.S. from the U.K. partly to go to the Rupes training and OG get-together in Colorado. Any thoughts on rescheduling, or do you think August date will hold? I think we're probably going to be okay to do it in August. We'll have to see. Rupes, my trainings aren't as important to Rupes as maybe some others. So we'll see. I mean, if we can still keep it on the schedule. I'm not canceling anything yet, so don't book your plane flight yet. But let's wait till like June-ish, and kind of see where we're at to see what happens with it. Jeff McConnell says, "Hey Matt, I set up my home washing area with a Karcher Cube, Cox Reel, and CR Spotless. Just waiting on 12-inch hex to finish it. How can I send an image of it for approval? Thanks." 12-inch hex. You're talking about one of those things? But the way to go would be send it to Bryce. Bryce at obsessedgarage.com. Your question. He can get you set up. Let's see here. Let me go back to where I was. I was somewhere around here. Wow, you guys are awesome, man. Lots of questions. I was like, what am I going to talk about today? I think I was right here. Yeah, you're right. 416 people watching, only 37 likes. Give me some more likes, people. I need all the likes I can get. Oh, that was a good one I just saw. All right. All right, that was Ian. I answered about the growth, and then the rag company. Do you derive most enjoyment from the journey or the outcome? Cheers, Kevin. This is my problem. It's my fatal flaw. I live in the destination, but I enjoy the journey the most. So I need to. I'm really in a good journey spot right now, and so it's got to be the journey. But I have to fight myself. This is part of my disorder. I have to fight myself in order to stay there. Stay in the journey. If you stay in the journey, you'll never have a destination. You never reach it. Just keep going. So I need to focus on that as much as possible. Are there benefits to drying towels over chamois? Well, a chamois will scratch the surface, so yes, definitely a drying towel. Off topic, are you custom ordering a 718 GT4? If so, what color paint to sample? Sapphire blue. I would 1000% do a paint to sample if I could. Paint to sample hasn't opened yet. It's still not off the table. I would do something like Brewster green or British Racing green. Some dark green is what I would want. But as of right now, paint to sample is not open. Kate asks, how's the dog? Oh, I love it. I love watching Michelle struggle with this thing. He's crapping on the floor, peeing on the carpet. She's getting so mad. It's just funny to see her interact with this little guy. And this is her doing. She wanted this thing. And I just get to sit back and laugh, laugh, laugh. It's like she gets to do that with me when I buy a car and do something stupid and I'm freaked out. But he's cool. I dig him. I'm glad I gave up that. You don't understand how adamant and was vehemently opposed to any kind of animals ever. And now I got 2 cats and a dog. Now the cats don't come inside, so they don't really count. But yeah, it was time for me to just let go. Let go. Let's see. Have any recommendations for lighting for walls? I'm looking for something to be flush similar to a drop ceiling panel. I don't know, man. I look into. I don't really like lights on my walls. I would look into LED troughers from Cree. Go to the Cree lighting page and check out some of their stuff. It looks interesting, but I don't have any experience with it. Enjoyed the recent Inside the Hex vid. It was interesting. Your struggles with getting vendors to support you. I see the shotgun and pressure washer solution everywhere now as if it was always so. I know. I think people underestimate that it didn't exist. The shotgun was not a thing. So, and I know I don't get any credit for it, but I don't need to tell you guys. So being a police officer in Tennessee and the wife homeschools our boys and another on the way, we are a family on a budget. Do you still recommend the Karcher electric pressure washer? Yeah, that's the one. You know what's coming? This is big. Ego pressure washer. I think it's going to be super legit. This is why I have to become an Ego dealer. I'll freaking sell millions of dollars of it. If it's as good as I think it's going to be, oh, imagine Ego pressure washer. Now that won't be on a budget, so it'll probably be 500 bucks. But yeah, Karcher if you're trying to keep things under control. So definitely the one, no question. So Ego with like, you know, 2 5-amp-hour batteries that you use on your leaf blower, and you can sort of transfer back and forth. That has whatever their crazy 5-year warranty, and we outfit it with all the right stuff, assuming it had some decent flow. You know, I bet you, what happens if they could squeeze like 1.6 or 7, 8 gallons a minute out of a battery-powered Ego blower? Could you imagine? Man, they also have an amazing power station. Gosh, they've got to allow me to sell this stuff. Another super chat, I'll get to that in 1 second. Would you ever get a V10 M5? Probably not. I was never really a huge fan of the E60. No one wanted the E60 when it was new, and now all of a sudden it's like, you know, everybody wants that thing. We've gotten our stimulus money and we're investing in OG. I like that. Thank you guys. So are we going to see a video on the Prevost garden hose nozzle? Yeah, I've got to get going on that. That's on the list. How's life with the puppy? Just talked about that. Let's see. Have you tried any Turtle Wax ice spray products that are similar to when you did a series on Meguiar's products? Bryce, can you get me some water?
Water?
Get out of here.
Hey, I need to ask you real quick.
What?
That Nick Baird, do I have to watch a whole hour of that, or is it good to go?
No, it's clean.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the beginning might be a little clunky.
cut
Just
the
cut the beginning out in the Nick Bear interview. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are just talking.
Yeah. Don't get me water. I'll get my own water.
I don't want to touch your cup, okay? You got your special cup?
I was joking. I just don't want to hear about your. What was I just talking about?
You're talking about turtle wax.
Turtle wax. I thought that's what you were coming over here to watch.
No. I was like, I'm like, watch this. I'm like, I'm going to watch this. Can I ask?
So, sorry, I'm back. Put that on my phone, not on my desk. So, turtle wax. So remember, I've been doing this a long time. I've been buying and trying more products than most humans on the planet. I've developed a pretty keen gut of what's good and what's not. And when you have a company that has done nothing for detailing, has contributed zero to it, I don't care if they're family owned or not, but they haven't really marketed, they've marketed, but they haven't like, I don't even know if they know anything about polishing or detailing in general. There's no indication to me, like Meguiar's has frickin' chops. You know, Meguiar's has Nick and Marcus and Mike Stoops and Jason Rose came out of Meguiar's, and all these industry leaders have come out of Meguiar's. All these great humans, you know. And Barry Meguiar is clearly very passionate about detailing. That makes sense to me. Turtle Wax makes zero sense to me. It's a bunch of old school stuff that was cheap. It's all about price. It's all about be as cheap and inexpensive as possible. I have no interest in that. I don't understand why you would either. I mean, there's no way it's the best product. It might work, it might be decent, but there's just no way. You're a company that doesn't know anything about detailing. And if they did know, they certainly haven't taught. I'm pretty deep into detailing, and I don't know jack about Turtle Wax other than it's a crap that, you know, your grandfather used. And so just because someone's been doing something for a long time doesn't mean they know what they're doing. They've just been doing it for a long time, or they marketed it really well. So I have zero interest in Turtle Wax Ice or Turtle Wax whatever, hybrid ceramic, whatever bullcrap. So, you know, I got the invite to go where everybody else went. I'm just not going. I don't have any interest in that. But when I got the invite from Meguiar, I freaking got on a plane and headed out there immediately for Meguiar's. So the same thing with you know, many other companies that I've gone to visit. So when I say these things like I'm not interested in Turtle Wax, I hope that makes sense. Like there's just no. Unless they start making videos showing, you know, the PhD chemists and how it's made and what they're about and all of that. What's our battery look like?
It's plugged in.
Oh, okay, good. Then, what are you doing?
You're good.
Okay.
Just keep talking.
Why would I give a crap about Turtle Wax? Just like I don't give a crap about mothers. It's the same thing. And Mothers, I would give Mothers a shake before I gave Turtle Wax a shake. You know, at least Mothers shows up with a SEMA booth and some people who kind of know what they're talking about to some extent. So, anyway, I need to get back in here, Bryce. You're just checking our speed. Let's see, do a flip, I can't. Best car for around $45,000 that will hold value. Thinking GT350, that's probably a good bet. GT350 would probably be a good car for that. Aren't you glad you have cats? Yeah, because they've not had any rodent problems since. I asked this on the group, but I have 6 months left on my Inside the Hex membership. Can I re-up again for M5 entry? We talked about that earlier. We can't. The software just doesn't allow, the app doesn't allow us to do that. So you can't re-up. You'll have to buy something cool instead. Yeah, Mike said it's not possible. Any reason why the orange drying aid towel is not part of the complete microfiber package solution? Do you prefer the towel in the solution as your drying aid towel? I just got to make the change. We have to take new photos and new video and all of that. So I like all the towels in the package. I would just add the orange towels to it. So yeah. Any tips for a 15-year-old car? I'm assuming car from, 15-year-old, like years old. Any tips to a 15-year-old from Norway? Yeah. Figure out what you like. Figure out how to read as many books and become as well versed as you could humanly possibly do, yet still go get a quality mathematically based education, maybe something in accounting, and figure out, are you cut out to own your own business? Are you cut out to be a corporate employee? Are you cut out to be a good, whatever? Figure out what it is you really like doing, and don't be ashamed of it. Don't be embarrassed of it. Don't be ashamed that you want to chase it, and fight for it. That's what I would suggest. That's what I'm going to teach my son. Matt, did you end up getting funding for the PPP because it dried up yesterday morning? Yes, I did. They deposit it. They deposit it on Monday. So yeah, the Chase said no. So what I did, so if those of you who own small businesses, I would suggest you do this. Get your application in now to multiple banks. I chose a small bank and a large bank that I bank with for this specific reason. For some stuff like this, I put my application in with a small bank, I put my application in with the large bank, and I assume I was dead in the water because I hadn't heard anything. And my banker, Jordan from USB here, just sent me an email today saying, hey, you got to come sign the paperwork. I said I thought the funding was in limbo or waiting on additional funding. If they do that, I think it's pretty much guaranteed they'll add additional funding. They'll print some more money and add more funding. Yeah, I get 100. It's like $109,000 or something like that. It's 2.5 times payroll that's forgivable, and so even though we're doing well, I'm going to use that to hire more people. So say what you want. Yes, it came through. Hey Matt, have you ever considered an affiliate program? It's funny you should mention that. Bryce is working on that as we speak. Should be up within the next couple of weeks. Sorry, that's an air compressor kicking on. That air compressor noise is the reason why you should buy the silent one and not the wobble piston, because it'll be done in a second. Matt, the 580 is actually now the most expensive since Home Depot lowered the 650 to $299. Yeah. I'd still buy the 580. Matt, will there be a Raptor poster? Yes, there will be. 2 Raptor posters, the blue one and the white one. We will have to pay taxes. All other customers in Europe, not the best place for OG Europe. Yeah. I've never tried Fuso Soft 99. I need to try that. I know it's great. I just don't know why I've never gotten a hold of it. We already talked about the Rupes stuff. Can you explain why your heated E92 M3 trunk that has water spots? So the reason I heated the trunk is I was attempting to reinstate the conditions that cause the paint to be able to accept the minerals or be etched by the mineral content. So the way a water spot works is I always get this wrong. Let's go back to elementary chemistry. It's concave, right? So convex would be this way, so it's concave, and so it becomes a magnifying glass. Sunlight light goes through, it heats up the paint. The paint then opens up the pores or swells, and then the water dries, leaves the mineral content behind, and then as the paint goes back down to restoring its normal condition, the clear coat locks in that mineral content, and then the only way to remove that mineral content is to sand down below that content, or hopefully chemically remove it. But what happens is a lot of it etches down below where the chemical can penetrate, and so the only way to remove it is to heat it back up, allow it to release, and then polish it out. So by heating, I'm trying to restore the conditions that created the water spot. What you don't want to do is just start hammering down with a polisher, because you're not going to get down below it if it's etched it, if it's really gotten deep enough. So in order to get down below it, you're going to have to polish off half the darn clear coat. And so what I want to do is I want to heat it up, and then if I get the conditions right, the polisher will take it right off. It'll release it. But I don't want to heat it up and swell the paint, because then it'll swell beyond that point and hold on to it even more. That's what I did the first time. I'll be talking more about that. That's why I bought an IR lamp, so I can control the heat. Let's see. Matt, I'm a truckload logistics manager at a carrier that you use currently for parcel. If you need a good contact for one, I'm one-on-one support, please let me know. Thanks, man. I actually have an advisor for said truckload logistics company, and who's a high up who generally advises me on how to navigate the waters. Is an Audi ever going to be in your stable? Maybe an RS6, but Audis always disappoint me because they always feel so numb. I had a B8 S4 and a B8 A4. Plus, Audi is definitely not modification friendly. I assume we can coat an old car with lacquer paint. I think so. I'm pretty sure you can. Older cars, generally, I prefer to just wax them. Let's see. Hide that. Somebody keeps asking for money. Don't ever, this is another thing, don't ever go on other people's YouTube channels or Instagram feeds and say, please subscribe to my channel. Don't do that. Nobody wants that. Let's see. Have you tried new Meguiar's line of ceramic coating wax spray detailer? No, it's still on the list, but I don't know. Marcus is pretty hyped about it, but I should probably listen to him, but I don't know. I'm just not excited about it. Matt, installing the 4-bulb overhead lights tomorrow in my single bay garage. Can't wait. Good. Let's see. It says pan was good 2 years ago. I think pan is pretty much the same. Matt, are you and Adam LZ still cool? Yep. I was just talking to him yesterday. He has some interesting stuff going on. But yeah, we're still tight. Hey Matt, I inherited my father's '64 Volvo Amazon. I don't even know what that is. It was painted black in '92 and has been polished, but has never been worked on by any machines. The car is in fine condition. What would you do first? I'd decon it first. When you have older cars, you got to be careful about too much water. So I would sort of cautiously decon it, and then I'm assuming if it was painted in '92, I wonder if it's single stage. You're going to sort of assess to figure out, is it single stage or is it base coat, clear coat, and then approach it. I would probably polish it out and jewel it up, and make it look nice, and then I'd probably wax it. Do you like CTSVs? Not really. Will you at some point try out a Giulia Quattrofolio? I know you like the way that car sounded. Yeah, I should probably drive one, but you know, unless the Maserati dealership was down the street, I just wouldn't be able to handle all the jankiness to it. Super chat is out of control. I haven't seen any super chats coming through here in a little bit here. Let's see. What do you think of the Scat Pack wide body? Not my bag. My dad likes that, but not me. I don't like those. Speaking of the F80, have you been able to drive a CS? I haven't. They got it dialed in the best they could for that platform. Yeah, I mean, like I've been in like the newest versions of them, and it is better than it was when my launch car, but it still farts. The real positive thing is that there's a couple of companies, Active Auto Work being one of them, that are working on an equal length exhaust design to help with farting, which is promising.
Some questions ready. I'm gonna change the setting real quick.
All right. Porsche Parts Advisor, who are you? I didn't see your name. What was it you said about a sale on the website last live stream? We can't run a sale. We can't keep up with it. So that may be in May or June. Give us a live demo of your desk. Maybe I'll do that in a minute. Let's see. I'll kind of mess up my cables here. I'll have a whole video. I heard, okay, yeah, so I'll answer this one. So TJ, I got to get on that. I keep pushing it on my calendar. So TJ Hunt is another YouTuber, a friend of mine. I met through Adam LZ. DJ lives in Southern California, and he has a giant like warehouse facility, and he wants to dial it in, wants to get it organized. And so he and I have been chatting a little bit. He sent me last week, some drawings and like kind of a walk around. So I'm going to dig into that soon. I keep getting sidetracked on awesome projects here. So I'm going to dig into that soon. And then we're gonna do a full-on deal, like a full legit, you know, sonic tools, cabinets, flooring, lighting. We won't be able to do Swiss tracks in the whole area because, you know, he does a lot of work and then we dumping fluids and things. He already has a bunch of bend pack lifts, so we're gonna work on layout. But it's gonna be a fun project that, you know, he and I are going to work on here probably this summer when we can travel again and all that stuff. So there are very select projects that I'm interested in working on, and something that I'd like to chase here in the future. All right, Bryce, where was I? I'm gonna have to go find out.
I think you watching yourself might be too much on the machine on video.
Okay, got it. The only problem is live chat. I don't have all of my stuff.
Well, if you go back to the streaming, talk about something. You're sitting there. What's on your mind?
I can. This is my live stream. I can do whatever the heck I want.
Sit
Oh,
there.
I can do it right here.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. Because we were running. I was watching it.
You're watching yourself twice, in there and on.
And just sucking up bandwidth, right? Choking it. Is there any way to financially invest into OG besides just buying stuff from the store? Haha. Also, what are your thoughts on Quasar sprayers? You know, there isn't. And if I ever raised capital someday, I would probably put it up to the OG audience first. Where, you know, we do some sort of, you know, Series A or something like that, or sell shares of the company. I'd rather just keep owning it all outright. So I'm hoping I never have to do that. The Quasar sprayers, I thought, was the deal. You know, I thought was the way to go. I'm ready. Quasar. This is what I'm going to get. This is what I'm going to use. This is the way to be. And I bought like hundreds of dollars worth of them, and I just don't like them. It's just not a good base. They don't feel great in your hand. The bottle's kind of wonky. It's super high quality. They fail just like probably the Pressols are going to fail, you know, periodically. But I just didn't like the starting point, and that's why it makes so much sense to me to the Pressols. I like the starting point, and so it makes sense to me to chase it a bit. Matt, what cable you recommend for Greenworks 2200? I'm assuming you mean what hose. I would go to the Greenworks page. The other thing you could do, the pressure washer spreadsheet is on the website. We'll make it more available here, a little easier to find. But if you go to For the Obsessed and then go to the pressure washer spreadsheet over on the content section on the left, you can look up the spreadsheet. It tells you all the specs of all the pressure washers, and then just go to the main page, the Greenworks page, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. I guess I'm gonna have to shut this down here. I'm only an hour and 40 minutes in. Let's keep going. Michelle's gonna bring me dinner, I think, I hope. Where was I? Let's go back up here. Crap, another super chat. Thank you. Brian Chu, thanks for keeping it real. I appreciate you appreciate that, man. I gotta keep, I just gotta stay legit. Make sure people understand that I'm not full of crap. Like, this is what you get. This is who I am. And so, no reason to fake it. Okay, so we talked about the 64 Volvo. Matt, what are your thoughts on wax sealant versus coatings? You've seen the sway towards coatings recently. Is there still a reason to wax your car and wax a car in your opinion? Yeah, I mean, I've started to come, I was one of the later holdouts of coatings, and not wanting to coat everything, because the original coatings looked weird. Original Ceramic Pro, original, C-Quartz UK. I mean, they just looked odd. They looked kind of we got this weird synthetic looking shine, and so I held on to wax for several years longer than I probably should have, because it looked better. And then you didn't have, some of the earlier coatings were more difficult to remove and deal with, super finicky. You had to get your stopwatch out and let it flash properly. If you did it wrong, it was easy to screw up. And so now, coatings have come a long way. I mean, I love G-Technic. There's lots of other great coatings too. Some of the Geon stuff is great. The CarPro stuff is great. What I don't want to do is retail. So I like Geon Mo's. I'm sure some of the other, Geon has 75 different coatings, so it's hard to pick one. But I like there's lots of coatings that I think are great. But there were also lots of mutual funds that I used to think were great, but I have to pick one to invest in. And so I like the G-Technic stuff. I like how slick it is. I like the G-Technic people. I like Rob. I like Eric. I like the whole team. And so the whole package. I just like the G-Technic stuff. And someday I'm going to convince them to let me sell a CSU to you. Rob says no way. What are your thoughts on home automation? Looking to start a YouTube channel on home automation. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, home automation is, I don't like the new stuff, like Amazon Alexa and all that crap. I mean, what are you freaking going to do with that? I can get up and turn my lights off. If I was going to get into home automation, I'd get into Crestron. I don't think I've told this story much, but there was a period of time, I don't know what I was thinking, because I would have done terrible at it, at the traveling part. I would have done great at selling the product. But when I was accused of stealing at Sound Advice and Tweeter in my early 20s, this is what sort of sparked me going and finding a new career at Merrill Lynch. But when I was accused of stealing something, I was accused of putting product in a friend's car and not charging them for it. When we did this car stereo, I sold millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff. It came out like $72 in connections that I didn't steal and wouldn't steal. I had the same policy I have now, that I don't do discounts. And so I'd vaguely remembered something happened. So it was like 3 or 4 years later that they were coming back after me and ready to arrest me for theft. So it was a stereo I did in Philadelphia for a friend, and I'd remembered something about the installers coming to me saying this car was harder than we thought, and so I backed the product out and did employee pricing, so I ate all the profit. So I didn't get a commission on it, and then allocated that profit back to more labor for the installers. And then the installers, I think, used some cables and some scraps they had, and then they did it. The car came in with some problems or something, and so they thought I stole all this stuff. And so when they accused me of stealing, now remember, I was the company man. or boy, if you will, at the time. I loved that place almost as much, if not more, than I love Obsessed Garage now. And they sit me in a room with a shrink, the guy from that was in charge of theft in the store, and like sent me home, and we're gonna make a decision of whether or not they were gonna arrest me. It was over like $72. And I had a key to the store. Because I was an engineer and I did math better than most of the guys. I would cash out the register. I would stay after and organize the warehouse, even though we were commissioned, a straight commission job. I loved that place. And they accused me of stealing, and they attacked my character. So anyway, where the heck was I going with this? Home automation. So when they did that, I started to go out and look for a different job. And so I interviewed with Tributaries, which makes cables. I interviewed with Crestron about being a regional rep, which I would have slayed. I would have done so well at that. I would have killed. And so I interviewed for the job. Crestron, it was for like 30, I was making like 80 or 90 selling TVs, and it was going to be for like $35,000, which would have been a stupid move. But who knows where I would have been if I would have taken that job. I just started dating Michelle, and so I don't know, it probably would have messed that up because I would have been calling on the Southeast. So hindsight being what it is, I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, I think home automation's cool. If I build a home ever, then I'll be all over it. Like real home automation, not fake home automation like Amazon Alexa. That's white trash fancy stuff. After using your coating procedures for the following washes, does it really benefit it much to use the bead maker when drying? Maybe. It just looks better. What don't you like about the ammo lineup? I don't really dislike anything about it. I just think there's better stuff. Larry's a good friend of mine. We get together all the time, every year at SEMA. And, he and I he's in a much bigger position, especially now with the current video process, videos he's been making. He has like 1 million, I think he's at 1.5 million subscribers now. So his channel makes, probably $20,000, $30,000 a month. I don't know, but something like that. We never discuss money. But we're always chatting about life and business, and we're in kind of a unique, I was the first guy. So there was the junk man, there was Larry, and then there was me. And I think Larry originally kind of entertained me because, just kind of keep your enemies closer kind of thing. But we become, friends. We'll text occasionally. But we have this unique perspective of what what it's like to be public, and especially in detailing. And he's probably one of the most hated people in detailing by pros in general, because a lot of it's because he's so darn successful. The dude walks in a room, and like I'm telling you, it's just certain people have just a special character to them, and I don't think I have that. My talent is something different, but Larry walks in a room and it looks like someone famous. It just feels like, same thing with Adam LZ, and some other people that I've met. Some people just have it, and so I tried his product line. I bought it. I was a fan of him. I bought his product line to play with it, and there was nothing that really made it into my process that was better than something else. But it's just like Griot's is great, and Adams is great, and Ammo is great. So there's all these product lines that are great. I'm looking for the one best product in each category, and I couldn't sell Larry's products anyway, even if I wanted to. I talked to him about it. He told me this. He said he considered it more than he'd ever considered it before when I asked him. I think largely because he saw that I could probably provide some value. But even if he did allow me to sell it, I mean, again, I'm not in love with, I was in love with hydrate for a long time, but when you start coating cars, hydrate didn't do as well. So it's not that I don't like the products. I think they're great. I think it's a great system. He has lots of great information to follow it. It's just that I like other products better for each aspect. What are the specs of the GT4? I'll do a video on that soon, so I'll go through all the details. What's your favorite ceramic shampoo? None. Don't use that junk. Do you have a video of you taking delivery of the Z06? I do not. Have you ever tested or reviewed Seaquartz 3K and the UK 3.0 and Gliss? I haven't done a review. I've used it, but I haven't done a review. We walk with you up here in Canada, Matt. Yeah, that's why I say I gotta create OG Canada. You Canadians, we're alike because we're waspy, you know, waspy whiteys in general. So, you know, we don't see the sun, even though I live in Florida. I'm trying to make you money with that printer. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Is Color Lock solution coming to OG Story? Yes, it will be. I don't know when. I got to get working on that. Matt, thank you for dealing with these times by thinking, being logical, and doing what makes sense, or what makes sense and seems right. It's been so inspiring, Seth. Thanks, man. I mean, it's hard to know what to do. Nobody knows what to do, and so I don't accept that you just listen to what somebody who doesn't know what to do is telling you what to do, but they don't know what to do. So why would I listen to them? Why would I listen to a politician or listen to some guy on Facebook that's yelling you to stay home? What does he know? How do you know that's going to work? Get out of here. I'm not doing any of that. I'm doing what makes sense, making assessed, logical decisions based on what information I have, knowing that that information generally is extremely flawed. Like the numbers for the pandemic. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Those numbers mean very little, almost nothing, because it's impossible that they're even remotely accurate, right? So China's numbers are ridiculous. They're bullcrap, clearly. And then the US numbers, if I tried to count the inventory in this 3,000 square foot building, there'd be a significant fudge factor. It'd be really hard to do. You mean to tell me that they're pulling these numbers daily from some random people just reporting it? So there's all these funnels to come up with a number. Imagine how far off those numbers are. It's just insane. And so until I see it, I've yet to meet a single person anywhere that I have any connection to, including thousands of you, if not hundreds of thousands of you. I don't know anybody. Other than the post of somebody saying that brother, sisters, uncles, friends, sister's cousin got sick. I mean, so I'm making assessments based on real-time information of, holy crap, there's a lot of people that are getting sick all over the place. We've already taken as many precautions as we have, and so you know, I've kind of followed it closely, as closely as you can with bullcrap information, and made rational decisions rather than just putting my head in the sand and saying, well, the guy who doesn't know anything told me to do something he doesn't know anything about, so I'm going to do it. Get out of here. I'm not doing that. Okay. Hey, Matt, any tips for detailing Teslas? I've never done a Tesla, so I'm probably not the right guy to ask. Will the same items be available for the Corvette giveaway? No, some, but mainly we'll probably do some different stuff. That's the goal. Are you shooting a wash and talk with the M3 anytime soon? Probably. Yeah, we're gonna be a full detailing series, so lots of talking. What's your thoughts on Expell XR Prime Plus on the M5 and the Carbon 65? It's okay. Lumar's still better though. Any updates on your plan to make garden hoses with stainless fittings? Yeah, I kind of gotten away from that. I need to get moving on that again, where we get a crimper and then we get ferrules out of stainless and we make our own. My friend Ralph Burrows, what's up, Matt? Crazy times we living in, huh? Yes, it is. Let's see. Hey, Matt, after viewing videos of G-Technic Crystal Serum Light and XOV4, I'm planning on applying it to my 3 vehicles. What do you recommend for a topper if Beadmaker is not available? You could do C2V3. I would probably do CarPro ECH2O. Is probably what I would use. I like that better than C2V3. Let's see. They were just talking about how detailed Adam is when washing a car. That's from me. You're welcome, world. and Colette didn't realize that Colette is a girl who's been featuring. She's been in a lot of videos, and she had an Obsessed Garage shirt on. She didn't even know what it meant. Also want to know if it will be the same items for the Corvette giveaway. No, there'll be some certainly different posters and things like that. Let's see. Anyone else videos keeps freezing up? Yeah. I think Bryce hopefully fixed that. Hey Matt, bought a Swiss Trax floor from you. Really appreciate your help and loving it for the most part, aside from breaking some tiles of the floor jack. Yeah, you just have to take it for what it is and manage that. I think I'm about checked out, peeps. Oh man, I'm never gonna get through all these questions. Hey Matt, love the content. Any plans to start a detailing series looking at less than perfect cars? Definitely not. Why would I do that? I'm looking for the best cars, and I'm looking to just make them a little better. Have you considered crowdfunding car builds? I'm kind of doing that, crowdfunding them with the giveaway. That's kind of how I've been doing it. Do you like CarPro Reset? Still prefer Adams shampoo. Oh yeah, I much prefer Adams shampoo over Reset, but Reset's a good soap. Oh no, I'm super late. I'll have to rewatch it later. Just wanted to say hi, Matt. Matt doesn't use wireless charging because it's for babies. Freaking grow up, plug your phone in like an adult. I like your thinking there, sir. All right, I'm gonna shut her down. Let's see, what kind of chair is that? It's a human scale Freedom. It was like $2,200 because I did a bison leather. It's a little noisy, but it's good otherwise. McKee's products are on my list to try out. Any other last questions? Yeah, thoughts on the C8, sucks balls. We can't renew Hex Plus. Matt Bryce is auditioning to be the Jamie on the Joe Rogan podcast. Gosh, could you imagine? That's like my one life goal. I'd love to go on the Joe Rogan podcast. It would be, I think he and I would do well on a podcast and me telling the story of obsession. All right, people, I'm checked out. There's a lot of questions in here. I'm building a new house with a 4-car garage. If I send you a floor plan with pictures, can you design recommend a Sonic MSS array setup? Yes, I can, and yes, I would like to do that. Either me or Kyle will get that done. Ooh, one last super chat here. Yoshi, would now be a good time to do a catch-up podcast series where you have old guests like Adam, Larry, and Brian back on via Zoom. I like that idea. I'm going to get that done. Let's do it. All right, people, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. Thanks to those of you who listened on the podcast and when on the go or watch this later. Probably take a while for this to process. What do I do, Bryce? I'm like a dumb old man. The big red thing.
Yeah, the big red one. Yep, and then that one too.